Okay, hey cellos. I'm gonna be going over your music for classic Sinfonia today. I know I only handed this out like a couple days before the plague struck and we were sent home from school forever. Uh, but I'm hoping I'm gonna be making this kind of a video series lesson for you guys, so you can kind of work through your parts on your own with my help, as much as I'm able to actually give you guys without seeing you every day in person. So I'll be starting at the beginning and just kind of walking you guys through, mostly line by line, and then demonstrating how it's supposed to be played so you can follow along at home. And I know the first couple measures are a review, but we're gonna go ahead and start talking about this from the beginning. First thing we always check anytime we get a new piece of music, or even when we're reviewing music we've already kind of played before, we always want to check our key signature and our time signature. So we are in G major right now, which means we only have one sharp, and that's going to be F sharp. So any F that we see in our music is going to be third finger on our D string, F sharp. All right, all Fs are F sharp, unless it tells us otherwise, like a natural sign or something like that. It's F sharp. Now we also need to remember what we do not see. We do not see a C sharp in the key signatures, which means none of the C's are sharps. They're going to be natural instead. So make sure we're playing F sharp and make sure we're playing F natural. C natural. I confused myself. F sharp, C natural. Anyway, so here we're at the beginning. Nice, strong forte. I know these first four measures have already I think most of us already played through, but let's review it just in case anyway. I'm going to pull up a metronome, and if you don't have a metronome at home, if you've got a computer at home or even a smartphone, what I like to do is I just in Google, in the search bar, if you just search for metronome, Google actually has a metronome tool. Like this little box will pop up like right here, just like this. Let me move my face out of the way a little bit more. And you can set this as fast or as slow as you like. Right now we're a little under tempo because we're still learning notes and rhythms. So I've got this right now currently set to 70 beats per minute. That's what BPM stands for. Usually like how you have like 60 seconds in a minute. Now we have 70 beats per minute, 70 BPM. So from the beginning, just kind of clapping and counting through our notes so far, just the notes and rhythms. We have 1, 2, ready, go. G, D, G, A, B, A, G, F sharp, A, G, F sharp, E, D, G, A, D. All right, and then we have that rest on beat 4. And yeah, you guys can follow along like you're watching like Dora the Explorer or something, just like yelling at your TV. And that'll take us through the first 4 measures. I'm going to go ahead and play through these 4 pizzicato, and then I'm going to play through arco. All right. Now, whenever I play through arco, just kind of thinking ahead, we don't have to worry about this pizzicato, but remember these eighth notes are going to be slurred, so you don't have to care about those whenever it's pizzicato, but when it's arco, make sure both of these notes are under the same up bow. All right, and you can go ahead and follow along with me here. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Okay. Oh, we didn't have too much trouble with those first 4 measures. Again, for most of us, that's a review. But it's always good to review to make sure we can play through all of our music. We're at measure 5 now, where it starts off real similar to the beginning. We have the same G, D, G, A, and then here starts getting a little bit different. So now we have to kind of start thinking about our bow speed when we're playing quarter notes versus our bow speed when we're playing half notes. Remember, half notes are twice as long as quarter notes are. Remember, quarter notes are 1 beat, half notes are 2. So we need to make sure our bow goes slower, right? So fast, 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 fast. Slow it down. More half notes, half notes. 1, 2, 3. Right. So make sure we're being careful there. Think about it real quick. We have a note. Remember in our notes with our C string and our G string, we don't read those as quickly. So real quick, what's this note here? Right, it's C. That was my Dora impression right there. So E to C4 right here. Now one last thing before we kind of start playing this through together. We have this quarter rest right here on beat 4 before we get to measure 5, and it's not written in our music, and some of you may have already realized this, but we're gonna have to do a reset here, because this G right here is a down bow and this D was a down bow, and it's not written. Mr. Elliot Del Borgo is kind of assuming at this point you all know, and most of you do know this, like when we're running through music and you say, hey, this was a down bow and this was a down bow, do we need to do a reset? Yes. Like I say, a lot of times if there's a reset, sometimes they don't bother telling you to do a reset if there's like a rest there. So yes, you will have to do a reset whenever you put all of this together. So reset here, same thing here because you got a down bow here. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's work on 5, 6, 7, and 8 pizzicato, and then let's work on it arco. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, ready, go. Okay, we're to measure 9 now, and for most of us, this is really as far as we've gotten in class. And, some of us may still be kind of working on getting some of the notes and rhythms down here, measures 1 through 8. If you are, that's totally fine. Work on this on your own, at your own pace. If you need to pause the video and, wait and go back and, do that some more, that's totally fine. Don't feel like you need to be going the same speed I'm going right now. I'm just trying to, cover as much of this as I can in one video. You go your own pace. But if you are good and ready to hit measure 9, let's go ahead and keep going. First big change here, our dynamic mezzo piano, which means medium soft. Now, what we were before? We were forte. So we've been forte through all of this. Now all of a sudden we need the music's telling us we have to back off. So we're medium soft here at 9, G, F sharp, E, reset, and rest, right? Because we have another down bow here. If we follow our bowings down, up, down, rest, down. Make sure you do a reset there. And our dynamic gets a little bit louder. So this first measure is soft, 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 rest, medium, 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 rest, and then we're full volume forte here in measure 11. So it gets a little bit louder each time. So make sure you're making sure those volume increases are being heard in your playing. All right, so going over the notes, G, F sharp, E, rest, E, D, and then C, rest, D, A, G, rest, rest, rest. Okay, I'm going to play through this first pizzicato. You guys can follow along, and then we'll go through it arco. Make sure you get those dynamic changes and all of those resets. If you want to mark those in your parts, remember this music is yours if you want to mark on it. 1, 2, ready, go. Ready, 1, 2, ready, go. we are now at measure, this is, I believe, measure 13, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, measure 13 right here. And measure 13 is really where the music features the low strings. So that's you guys. You guys have the melody here, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And you're going to notice it feels very similar to the beginning, but then it starts changing a little bit. These first two measures are exactly the same as the first two measures of the song. So if you've got these two measures down, you've got these down as well. The G, D, G, A, B, A, G, F sharp, A. Here's where it gets a little bit different. So we have G, D, G, A, B, A, G. All right, is what's happening there. G, D, G, A, B, A, G. All right, let's try this pizzicato, and then let's try this arco. Remember, I play the pizzicato and arco back to back. If you need to do pizzicato a few more times, like you do it once, and you're not ready for arco, remember, stop it, go back, try it pizzicato again. Make sure you feel like you are ready to move on to the next section before you do. Otherwise, you're going to start feeling like overwhelmed and like this music is too much. Take it piece by piece. 1, 2, ready, go. All right, 1, 2, ready, go. All right, so now we've made it to the last part that we're going to talk about for this lesson, and that's here at measure 17. All right, so 17. So first thing we notice that's a little weird, and I keep trying to highlight it, but sometimes, I don't know the way this document works, it's not working. But I'm going to circle around it. We have a quarter rest. We have a squiggle on beat 1 of 17. None of you should play on beat 17. So whenever you count yourself in, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2 is when you play. Wait for count 2. Do not play on 1. Respect the squiggle. Then you come in on beat 2. Also notice that it's still a down bow, so somewhere in between here, beats 4 of 16 and beats 1 of 17, we would have needed to have done a reset somewhere in there, so we're good to go on a down bow here. So let's look at our rhythm here. We have eighth notes, remember, half a beat each, 2 and 3, 4. Same thing here, another rest on beat 1, 2 and 3, 4. Another rest on beat 1, 2 and 3, 4, quarter, 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 quarter. So let's put our metronome to that. And I'm going to count us in. 1, 2, ready, go. Like I always do, like as if we're playing with everybody else in the orchestra. And we have to be thinking, okay, when he says go, don't play on beat 1. So here we go. Here's 17. 1, 2, ready, go. 1. E, F, G, E, rest. D, E, F sharp, D, rest. E, F, G, E, C, A, D, D. All right, and that'll be how that part goes. Let me turn off the metronome real quick, because the last thing, we've got a note here we don't see just too often in our music. 2 notes, really. These two, come on, computer. Whatever. Okay, so this first note here, let's think about it for a second. It's the note below our open D. This is our 4th finger C, right on our G string. And then this guy here, it's the first space. Remember, all cows eat grass. This is our 1st finger A on our G string. So let's remember that when we get to this, C, A, D, D, and then that'll take us through there. Once we're finished with this, don't let us forget this. We've got a repeat sign. Repeat sign. So where do we go back to? Scanning through our music, scanning through our music, scanning through. Oh my gosh, we go all the way back to the beginning. We're all the way back at the beginning again, and we play through everything one more time. So what I'm going to do now for you to follow along, I'm going to start at measure 17. I'm going to play through it pizzicato, and then I'm going to play through it arco. Keep in mind, whenever you're playing through this, make sure when you're counting yourself in to come in, don't play on one of any of these. Down, up, rest, down, up, rest, down, up, so on and so forth. Okay, here's the pizzicato and the arco. Okay, 1, 2, ready, go, 1. One, two, ready, go, 1. Okay, that's going to take us and get us all the way through this part 1 of these video lessons, getting you all the way up through the first third of this piece. So hopefully this gives you enough to kind of practice and work on. If you've got this down, feel free to work ahead. Hopefully in the next couple of days I will be posting the lessons for 21 through whatever measure this is, 40 is where I plan on stopping for the next one. But you're always free to look ahead and practice ahead. I encourage that. That being said, if there's anything that I talked about today that didn't make sense to you, or I didn't explain well enough, whatever you still don't understand, or even about any of this, you can always send me an email or leave a comment somewhere in Classroom or wherever. I will get back to you as soon as I can. Don't forget, you can also jump in during my office hours that I have every day from 1 to 2 if you've got a question, and I'll do my best that I can to answer it. And if that time 1 to 2 conflicts with your schedule and you need another time, just let me know, and I'll probably have some free time, and I can meet with you another time. Anyway, I hope you guys are all staying safe. I miss getting to hang out with you guys every day. But I will see you all hopefully in August whenever we come back.